came up like that. You know, my story is different, and I grew up in the Cali projects in New Orleans. Never had a bed till I was 18. So I grew up in the worst projects in New Orleans, and I grew up with 16 people in the house in a 3-bedroom project. And I didn't take it as an excuse and say I'm gonna live in poverty or I'm just gonna give up. I use it as motivation. So my uncles, I lived with my grandparents, and me and my brother, and my grandparents had 12 kids. And so they was all older than us, so they had 3 beds, and it was their beds. It was like, you get beat up if you go and try to get in one of them beds while nobody was home. So I wait in the morning, and it motivated me. I always said, one day, I'm gonna make it up out of here. I'm gonna take my whole family up out of here, and I'm gonna live in a big house. That's all I knew. I don't know how I was gonna get there, but I knew one day that I was gonna be tired of sleeping on this floor, and I'm gonna make it all. You know, one day a guy broke in our house, and I don't know what he was thinking, because we ain't had nothing. So he runs straight down the steps and outside. I'm like, man, you picked the wrong house. It's like, we have nothing. And I use that as motivation. And I tell people, young people everywhere, don't use your conditions or your situations as it's over. For me, I feel like there's no limit to what I can do, there's no limit to my success. And I use my past not to dwell on it, but as to take my life to a whole nother level. And like everybody else out there, searching with their dreams and their goals and don't know. I didn't know how big I was going to be. I didn't know how successful I was going to be. But I realized in life, I said, if they could do it, I could do it. So I started looking at the people that were successful and trying to figure out how can I make it. And I used basketball as a way out for me at first. So basketball was my way out, you know, living in private. I'm like, I can shoot this jump shot. I learned how to shoot in the dark. I figured some college is gonna give me a scholarship, which it did. Ended up getting a scholarship at the University of Houston. Ended up getting hurt. First 2 weeks the season started. Went right back home to the projects, like trying to figure out what I'm gonna do. My grandfather said, son, you need to get up and figure something else out. And I'm like, basketball is it. This is my whole life. I mean, I'm going to the NBA, you know. I'm gonna get a chance to play against all these other big players that I know. And as I laid in that room and thinking that now I have to start over again, I realized that I had to figure something out. And music came to me, was another passion of mine through, you know, being African American kids growing up in a project. You know, that's all you hear. I used to hear like Run DMC, all those records, all those older records, and listen to that and say, I could make it. Like, I want to do music, I want to tell my stories. When I looked outside, I see so much negativity. And I figured one day I wanted to be able to tell my story, because at that time, the East Coast and the West Coast was so big. So you had to be from the East Coast to the West Coast to be able to make it in the music business. And by me being from the South, I was like, man, my first record, Body, you sound country, this don't go. Like, man, you got gold teeth, like what is you doing? Like, you just don't fit. And I'm like, I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I gotta make these people like my music. So I can sit outside the radio stations and the program director hide from me, because I'd be out there every week with the same body song dude, like, man, you again, like, you got a different song? I said, no sir, this is all I have right here. And I sit out there, and one day he brought me and he said, man, let me just listen to it. I'm gonna see. I said, no, don't listen to it, sir. Can you just, you know, I'm from the South. He said, man, you don't have to call me, sir. I said, no, but you know, sir, that's just us. That's how we talk. He was like, if you just play it one time, let the people hear it and see what they'll say. He would say, okay, I'm gonna play this one time, because you show up every day, just so you're not gonna show up after I play it no more. I said, no, sir, if they don't like it, I'm good. I ain't gonna show up. I think he played it just because he didn't want me to show up no more. And so he put that record on, and people start calling in, and like he called me back. I'm like, man, I know that's the first and last time they're gonna ever hear my record. But he started calling me back, saying, man, people like the record, and I think you have something. So I said, okay, now I want to learn the music business. I think I have something. So I said, who's the biggest star in the game? Was Michael Jackson. And I said, who is his attorney at the time? So I looked up Michael Jackson's attorney at the time, who it was, and then I said, I went there, talked to the guy in Los Angeles. I said, how much do Michael Jackson get a record? He said, 22% of record. But he said, for to do business with me, he said I had to have a 20, back then it was crazy. You had to have a $25,000 retainer. This was the 90s. Because Michael Jackson was so hot, he didn't want to talk to nobody. So I'm like, $25,000. I live in the projects. So I'm like, okay, one day I'm gonna come back. I started selling my CDs out the trunk of my car. And I got that from this older lady in my community called Miss Irene. And she was the A-Bone lady. So I watched her sell an A-Bone in a Tupperware out of the car, and I'm like, I'm gonna do that with my music. And so it was crazy how I approached her later. I said, Miss Irene, what you do? She said, boy, you the police? More about everything I got is legit. Why you keep asking me all these questions? I said, no, I was just seeing all these people coming to your car. I was wondering what you was doing. She said, you sure you're not the police? I said, no, I'm not the police. I was just, she said, well, my stuff legit. I said, no, Miss Irene. And I seen that, and I seen the hustle and the drive that she had. I said, I'm gonna go to every city. So I come back, I get the $25,000. And he tell me the only deal that you could get bigger than Michael Jackson is a distribution deal, where you get 85% and a record company get 15%. But to get that deal, you're gonna need $200,000 marketing budget. I said, what? $200,000? I said, okay, sir. I was mad, I left. So I go see Jimmy Iovine, and I got my brother with me. I got C with me. He's like, Jimmy Iovine said, look, I got Suge, I got Puffy. I can give you $1 million. Sign right here. So he had to check. And I'm living in the project. I got $500 in my pocket. And I said, sir, can I go get some lunch? It's a big deal. Can I come back? He said, can I just come back? He said, well, if you don't come back, you're never gonna get a deal in this town. And I never came back. I got on the plane, I called Southwest back to New Orleans. And me and my brother was about to fight on the plane. And he was like, man, you turned down $1 million. How much money you got in your pocket? I said, I got $500. You stupid. And I said, wow. He said, man, why you not mad? I said, if he offered me $1 million, how much you think I'm worth? So after that, I went home, came up with the ice cream man. And for real, I'm like, man, I don't know where this stuff was coming from. It was coming. Now, I'm like, because everybody was wearing dark, black, everything. Everything was black back then. NWA, Ice Cube, Tupac, everybody. Biggie Smalls, everybody was wearing all black. I come with this white Dickie suit. They was looking at me like, man, this boy country or something. I don't know what's wrong with him. He got a white Dickie suit on. He called himself the ice cream man. And I finally got a deal with Priority Records. And they gave me that distribution deal. And they told me, they said, you know, you're probably gonna sell about 6,000 or 10,000 records. I said, that's it? I was like, yeah, you ought to be happy with that. You'll be in the game. And I said, oh, okay. I wasn't happy with that. I'm like, okay, so I took my show on the road before my record came out. I just started plastering up posters, giving out t-shirts, No Limit Ice Cream Man t-shirts. I don't care if you was a homeless, I was giving you a t-shirt. So I put t-shirts on people, and people just walking up the street all day with No Limit Ice Cream Man t-shirts on. I mean, I went, so I went to at least 30 or 40 different states, just driving by myself. And just people look at me, ain't you that guy? I said, no, man, we all look alike, you know, that ain't me. I wish there was. Would the ice cream man be out here putting up posters? Oh, you right. And people left me alone. And I got back, the record was coming out that month later. And the guy kept looking, he said, you know, I don't know if you're gonna be able to compete with NWA and the Ghetto Boys, because at that time, they had NWA, they had the Ghetto Boys, they had Eazy-E, they had Ice Cube, I mean Jay-Z, they had everybody. And I'm just a country boy, like, man, I'm just trying to get in the music business. And when they put that record out, I ended up doing like 50-something thousand units the first week. And that was a lot for artists that nobody never heard of. Next couple of weeks, the record went gold. Next couple of weeks, the record went platinum. We ended up selling over 100 million records a day. And I give that back to my fans because, you know, it's just what me, you know, the fans, the people that believed in our movement. So I thank y'all, I thank my fans for supporting me.
Now,